What do you see as your role in the Desi community, in the South Asian community?
I mean, I'm from India. I am an Indian citizen, and I grew up in the Middle East and in Oman, and I went to an international boarding school in India in the Himalayas, and then I moved to the US for college. And I, was but was neither Indian American. I was neither like, an Indian who had only lived in India.
Hmm.
I was part of like a kind of, you know,
Global.
Middle Eastern diaspora
Hmm.
set.
Hmm.
And so I think my experience in the South Asian community is quite expansive as well, considering that, even in Oman, of course, we had a significant Indian population, but, my best friend was Sri Lankan. And we had a lot of, intermingling also with the local Omani population. We were expats. Like we're growing up in a place where we're not from. So I think my role in the South Asian community is to kind of, in many ways, counter, in spite of my own name and my own citizenship, a pretty dominant Indian Hindu narrative that has permeated culture,
Hmm.
and to be like, there is a group of people that have all existed together in all of our diversity and the richness of our differences in many ways. Um, that we've had borders put up, um, not necessarily because we wanted those.
Hmm.
And so I think I really look at my role as a way to bring that broader community together and building the depths of our understanding of that, complexity, and, making sure that also the Caribbean, diaspora experience in that is, connected. And I mean, now I live between New York and Norway. I'm part of a different type of, immigration and like experience, in a European set. So I think that, as a filmmaker, with my background, I try to make sure that our narratives, whether it's like things I'm writing or developing myself, or, as producers, that the South Asian experience really truly means that broad experience and not just one predominant narrative.
That's great. And you're one of, not the only, but one of the few who can tell that story, relatively speaking, having your international experience, global experience. So yeah, that shines through. And speaking of that, I mean, you help organize a lot of high profile events. So what are the purpose of these events? What do you hope people do at them in general? How much does networking help your career or whatever else? I mean, you're pretty involved in that scene.
I mean, I guess I made the mistake 4 years ago of having a, kind of little private party for my friends who were nominated,
For
and
Oscars.
they were nominated for Oscars. And um, we were at a place, Anurima Bhargava's place in New York, and there was Joseph Patel, and there was Anurima, and we were also celebrating our friend Geeta Ganbir. And then I had done a scan of, the Oscar nominees, and then I made, did a toast, and I said, there's a record number of South Asian Oscar nominees. We must do something about this. We must celebrate. And in a way, that became like the genesis for this event that, then, early on worked with, you know, Manish Goyal, Priyanka Chopra, and Julia Acharya. The first year was at UTA, and that was kind of thrown together really a few weeks prior. And then the next year was at Paramount, and
Hmm.
it was just evolving and trying to find itself. And frankly, that event is always about the nominees. That's who it's for.
Hmm.
It's for that, and the nominees are going to change every year.
Hmm. Yeah.
And what was interesting that year, the first year it started, is that there was a film from Afghanistan by Gulistan Mirzai, who is Afghani. There was the first Bhutanese Oscar nominee of all time. You had Riz Ahmed nominated for two different projects, and then you had, film like Writing with Fire, from India, which was about an investigative women's newsroom that was really taking on like right wing injustice, in the state of UP primarily. And so these were the films and stories and filmmakers. It just felt like an incredible moment to, at that point say, we have to gather. as this broad South Asian community, especially in the filmmaking community and the entertainment business at this point and moving forward.
I love that. I love the celebration aspect of it, and it's an exciting time to be part of this community and celebrate alongside with you. So let's turn a little bit to towards you as a person.
Oh
What
gosh.
would it mean to pull a Shruti? If someone's like, "Wow, she just pulled a Shruti." What would that be?
I mean, I think whenever I start a conversation with someone, the first question they say is, "Where are you? What country are you in? What
Mm-hmm.
city are you in?" Because I do travel quite a lot for work. I'm a very patient partner. But pulling a Shruti, I think, is showing up. And I think maybe people are sometimes confused. It's like a Where's Waldo thing. It's like, where's Shruti? But she's suddenly there. But as best as I can, I try and be there. And that I am probably in this like kind of perma state of jet lag, but somehow I'm awake still cruising through.
Yeah,
That's
that's
also pulling a Shruti.
cool. I love that. That's really awesome. What pisses you off? Has anything ever made you so mad you endeavored to change it? Obviously, some of this is, injustice, gender-based violence. You gave us this example. You not only listened to this woman, but also you showcased her story. So that's a clear example of one of those. But if you want to share another one.
Oh, what pisses me off? I mean, I don't know. I think, you know, what pisses me off is when, oh gosh, I have so many things and there's just too many things rattling in my brain.
I
I'm
see the
really
gears
trying,
turning. Like, which one do I
I,
pick here?
I'm really trying to pick one. What's a recent one? I know this may sound really basic and, maybe my name, Shruti, it's like refers to the truth from sound and that makes me a shitty liar. And what pisses me off are liars who think that they're good at it because I'm like, what? It never does any good. I'm like, why don't you just be really transparent and honest? And it's going to get really fucking uncomfortable for everybody. And that's fine.
I love that. I think that's where truth is. And as a comedian, of course, I completely agree with you because that's where we play. We play in the things that are true, that may be painful, but are hopefully helpful. And I think that there's a three-legged stool piece of that. Like, is what you're gonna say, is it true or is it false? Is it helpful or is it harmful? Is it easy to share or hard to share? Things like that.
I mean, I said, not that this pissed me off, but this is an example where, last night, my husband and I, we had dinner and we ran into someone that we actually really did not want to run into and we hadn't seen them in a long time. And my husband ended the conversation being like, "Oh yeah, next time I'm in town, I'm gonna, give you a call." And I was like,
That's great.
why would you say that? That's not
I always
even
look at it from the
true.
aspect of like, oh, this is you wanted to get out of the conversation. I'm like, instead of on this trip next time I come, I'm going to. But you're right. That's a
I'm
lie.
like, that's a lie. I mean, not that that pissed me off, but I'm like,
Sure.
I even at that point, I'm like, if it's not true, just don't say it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, don't, just don't.
Yeah. There's a great Curb Your Enthusiasm where, obviously Larry David, the main character, is friends with his manager, Jeff, and he and Cheryl, his wife, are standing there and he goes, "Oh, do you want to have dinner before the show tomorrow night?" And they're like, "Nah." And then Cheryl goes, "We have something." And Larry goes, "No, we don't have anything. We just don't want to have dinner with you tomorrow night."
So
It's just
that's it.
like,
It's like me and Larry David. I
yeah.
love it,
I love that. It's like they're best friends. It's like he's not dissing him. He just like, "No, I don't want to have dinner with you tomorrow night." There doesn't need to be an explanation. No, we don't have to make anything up. It's like, I'm just not up for it tomorrow. Like, cool, we're friends. Maybe we'll do it another time. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would be that character in my life.
I love that. And Indian Larry David, that's what I always think of myself as well. So we're kindred spirits.